Hi guys, welcome to Outboxed Sports. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA MVP and who we think deserves the MVP. Cailin, you have Stephen Curry as the unanimous
Stephen Curry
MVP.
of the Golden State Warriors.
Correct.
Yes.
And you are the lone believer of this.
Okay, well, I'm a very stats-oriented person.
Okay.
So, on paper, he's the MVP.
In what way, shape, or
Right.
form?
Okay, we're going to compare him to LeBron James. Steph Curry got 30.1 points on average. LeBron James, 25.3. So he loses that one. LeBron, he edges out Curry in assists, but 6.8 assists per game on average compared to Curry's 6.7. So basically tied there. That doesn't super count. And then James does have the edge on field goal percentage, but Curry has the huge edge on, it wouldn't be an edge, the huge advantage on free throw percentage, which is like above 90%.
Yeah, he was in
91, I think.
90.
Yeah, he was
46.
Yes,
46,
seventh,
right, 46.
seventh player ever to make the 40-60-90 club, which we mentioned in a past show. You should watch that. I will link it here. And then he broke his own record again this year for three-pointers with 402.
Okay.
So I'm saying he's the
Okay.
stats, he's the
Okay.
top of
If
all
you're-
these things.
You want to bring up stats, that's fine. But when you look at MVP, it stands for most valuable player.
Yes.
When you're talking about value, you're talking about somebody who, like, if you take them away from the team, they have no shot. You take Steph Curry off the Warriors,
They still win game
at
one.
worst, they're probably 4th seed in the West.
I mean, we've seen that already in Game 1.
Game
what
one.
they did without
Game
him
one.
in
Yeah,
the
but-
finals.
Literally, Steph Curry did not show up, and they
and they were
absolutely
able to win the game.
You can't use
Kept
that game.
I am
that,
nowhere near the end of my point.
Well,
You take Steph off the because I'm
Well, you
because
let me
I get real.
I get to respond after since
Oh yes,
I'm
right.
defending
Granted.
Steph
Okay.
Curry.
Yes, I didn't mean to, because I really get upset with this. You take Steph Curry off the Warriors, and they're at worst 4th seed in the West. You take LeBron
at
off
worst.
At worst. You take LeBron off the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they probably do not make the playoffs.
End of
And that's
discussion.
they probably do not make the playoffs. When you talk about value, I mean, even to me, I think Klay Thompson. I think he's even the best player on the Warriors, and that's a stretch though. Just because like the way they're almost like the same, and he plays better defense than Steph
right,
Curry.
he's a phenomenal.
Klay Thompson is
You know?
one of the best defenders in the entire
And
NBA.
the problem I have, and it's not just NBA MVP, but the problem I do have with the NBA MVP thing is that it's all about image. When I think MVP in the NBA is LeBron all the way.
I mean, sorry, but to delve back into Manny's point a little bit deeper here, right? During the regular season, the Warriors' offensive rating was #1 in the league. That's with Stephen Curry. Without Stephen Curry, do you guys want to take a guess to where they ranked?
Probably one.
They were #3. So that's not too bad of a drop
Klay
off,
Thompson
right?
is lights out. He
But-
could be shooting three-pointers with his hand on his face.
He's a phenomenal shooter, but to go even deeper now, you go to the Cavaliers, you look at statistics like that, right? The Cavaliers go -14 without LeBron on the court. And that's not even good to make the playoffs. I mean, so you got to look
I
at
understand LeBron.
value towards your team is what I think defines MVP.
No, but do you
Like,
think
let's offer
anyone?
that
Do you think anyone on Golden State would say that Steph Curry was not valuable to them? Come on.
Of
He
course
is
not.
Of course, yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, obviously,
I mean,
That is not my
because he's
argument.
on the team, yes, but we're talking
I
about.
know.
See, we're talking about being most
I
valuable.
have
Go
a
ahead.
recent. So, Golden State Warriors best regular season record of all time, 73 wins.
Right.
Okay.
Would they have that without Steph Curry?
Absolutely not.
Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No,
That's not what we're debating right
No,
now.
but I'm saying
That's not what we're
they
debating.
have become the best winning team of all time
Okay.
because of Steph Curry. How is that not valuable?
yeah, but
he
you
is
can-
valuable
but
making them that
hold
high.
on now,
He's a
hold on
great
now.
shooter.
You guys are
great
talking
shooter.
about the Cavs and how they wouldn't be in the finals.
Right.
They broke a record because of Steph Curry.
I wouldn't put it strictly on Steph Curry.
Exactly.
That's a phenomenal team
Yeah.
and an
No,
even
I'm
better
saying-
head coach.
Okay, let's look at a specific game then. So, the game that they got their 73rd win.
Okay.
Against the Grizzlies, they won
Yeah, he was
by...
lights out.
He was, but you're talking
46
about the
points.
Grizzlies. The Grizzlies set a record for new players on their team in that season.
I know, but they got 46
You can't
points
really-
in that game. Curry
He
got
also
46
broke that
points.
His
three-point
3-point,
record.
that I'll give him because
I
he
mean,
not-
shoots
yeah, before
phenomenal.
100.
Okay, I'm saying
He
you
shoots so
take,
many threes.
You take Steph Curry out of the equation in that game completely. You would need a player to take his place who would need at least 25 points in that game to beat the Grizzlies. But if you replace Steph Curry, you're not guaranteed the player's going to get 25 points.
See, but you're
They
going
lose that game,
You're,
they
you're
tie the
going
record.
off the success of the 73 wins. Like I said earlier about them being like 4th seed without Steph, they're
The
probably
success
like
of Steph and the
they're
73
probably
wins.
like okay,
They're in the
60
50 range.
wins.
They're in the 50 range without him.
High 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's in
Listen,
the West, that's
listen,
fine.
listen.
You're just going off them having 73 wins. You know, that doesn't make them Like, this doesn't make somebody from their team like an instant MVP. That's a team effort, you know.
Exactly.
Just to
He's
get
the
there.
best player on the best team. I know it's a cliche reason,
but LeBron's the best player in the world.
Wait, okay.
Carry on.
Who has a better supporting cast than Steph Curry?
Nobody.
I literally can't think of a better supporting cast than the big three Boston Celtics with KG, Ray Allen, and
Kevin Garnett.
So I'm saying if his team was not as good now, he doesn't deserve
hey,
it.
listen, I have been politely listening to you guys' points. Let me go in real quick.
Good point.
So Steph Curry he averaged the most points in the NBA, right? Yeah, it's because he was shooting a three-pointer every second. Yeah,
right.
He scored a lot. I'm not denying that he's not one of the best shooters of all time, but that should not be the defining factor in whether he is the MVP in the NBA. I think the reason why he was the MVP is exactly what Manny said earlier. It's all about the image. Mm-hmm. He is the face of the NBA right now. Where would the NBA be if there was no Steph Curry?
I don't think he's the face of the NBA.
Yes, he is. Game 7 of the Golden State Warriors Oklahoma City Western Conference Finals game was the most most watched game in NBA history.
Okay, so you think I'm saying if it
he
was all
is the face of the NBA.
I understand, but if it was all fans voting for him as the MVP, okay, that would be understandable. Oh, he won because it's all fans. But there's 130 sports writers, broadcasters, people who have in-depth knowledge of the sport, and you think they're all delusional. Every single
I don't think
person.
they're delusional.
I'm
not
saying every single person victim.
Yeah, okay.
You can take yours.
Okay, so I think that's like the number one problem. We have sports writers and sports broadcasters picking who our MVP is. On the NFL Network, I don't know if anybody watches NFL Network.
Yeah, absolutely.
I only watch 2 channels, ESPN and NFL Network. Sue me if you want, honestly. But they have a top 100 that they do every year, and it's voted by the players. I think if you want the MVP, you should go by the players. Because last year, Aaron Rodgers, he won MVP for the NFL and things like that.
Exactly.
But if you watch top 100, J.J. Watt was number 1.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
But I think, personally though, I think that's how it should work. And then
but it's not, so we can't even bring that into question.
Hold on. Let me make another point real quick.
Okay.
And I think when it comes to the NBA, if you look at how they do it in the NCAA with the Final Four, they have a most outstanding player.
Steph Curry.
If you want to debate most outstanding player and most valuable player, it's two different things. If you want to go outstanding, I'm telling you Steph Curry.
Most outstanding player
every time.
100%.
Is he the most outstanding player this past season?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
There's no debate. But you can't tell me he's the most valuable asset on that team just because they won 73 games.
But everyone's definition of what is valuable is different. So you really can't use your definition for all 130 people there. They clearly didn't agree with your definition.
I'm using my definition for every sport.
Into their career, who has played the most minutes? LeBron plays literally every minute of every game. He had to dial down his minutes this year because he's playing like he's like a 40-year-old right now.
Yeah.
Because he's just been playing so many minutes since he got into the league. He is absolutely the most valuable player.
Why did he get number 3?
That's the thing.
Because it's LeBron James.
People don't like LeBron.
LeBron James has been in 6 straight NBA finals. LeBron James has been in the top 3 of MVP voting since in 12 years. In 12 years, he's been in the top 3 in MVP voting every single year.
We've been taking LeBron for granted.
You can't give LeBron the MVP every year. You just can't do that.
So
there's no debate on who's the most valuable player.
For the 95-96 season, Michael Jordan won the MVP. Do you think he should have not won that year?
That is completely different.
No, it's pretty similar.
Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time.
Yeah, and
okay. How many? Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
How am I supposed to make my point if you don't let me talk?
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did not combine for as many threes as Steph Curry did this year.
All I'm saying is
he took the ball to the rack. He was exciting. He was explosive. He is Michael freaking Jordan.
So then you're biased because you're just like, oh, he's Michael Jordan. He wins. It's the same difference that people are doing with Steph Curry.
Okay, but Michael Jordan is the most valuable player of all time.
Yes, of course. But
Yes.
that season that he was 2 votes short, and everyone said it should have been unanimous that year, what was he averaging per game? 30 points per game. What did happen that year? He led the Bulls to a 72-win season record. Steph Curry sounds pretty similar to me.
But Steph Curry is a
so different.
shooter.
It's a different world now.
The one thing I want to say quickly, though, Michael Jordan on that Bulls team, right? He was the leader of that team, both on the court and emotionally, right? LeBron, what has he been throughout his career? Not only the best player on his team, but also the emotional leader. Steph Curry, I really don't see him being that leader off the court. He's more so, I'm going to shoot my threes, and that's where I get it. But I mean, to me, Draymond Green, if anything, is that leader off the court.
You can't think of Steph Curry as the most valuable player to his team when he played 3/4 of every game this season. He didn't even play the fourth quarter in the majority of his games. LeBron James, if you take him off the court for the Cleveland Cavaliers, look at what Kyrie Irving did when LeBron left and went to Miami. He won 2 championships. Kyrie Irving got drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers that year when he left. And what did he do? Nothing.
They were terrible.
Nothing.
They were.
And that's
I think they were
absolutely
Do not
nothing.
quote me.
They were. But like you said about Kyrie Irving being the lone guy on the Cavaliers that season, right? Look at his team right now. He's Kevin Love, who's a great talent, but what has he been throughout his career so far? Just a stat stuffer. He scores.
Yeah. Exactly.
J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert,
Yeah.
Mozgov, all these guys were cast-offs of their teams. LeBron comes, and you're seeing J.R. Smith back to his 6th Man of the Year form. You're seeing Mozgov last year in the finals producing. You see all these guys now playing up to their level, and I think that's because of LeBron.
I'm not going to
leadership
deny
that
he's
he
not
has,
a great player.
the value that he brings to the table, I think makes him the MVP. Aside from averaging 25, 7, and 7, whatever it was this season, the value to me is what you can do for me off the court. I know you can put the numbers up. You can get a triple-double on any given night. But if everybody else isn't clicking, can you go and sit down and say, hey, I need you. Let's go. Let's lock in. Let's go
my 2
through the
favorite
first 3 quarters of each game.
in the NBA is Kawhi Leonard and Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is one of the best shutdown defenders in the NBA.
Who is your MVP? Is it LeBron? Is it Klay Thompson?
I mean,
You're
before
throwing too many
say-
names
I'm
out
just
here.
saying that you can't.
There's like 10 different
you can't just
options,
say like
clearly.
yes,
There's
Steph Curry
options.
is valuable to his team. Yes, he obviously is. We're
I mean,
not debating on whether he's valuable.
No,
to
he's
his
a
team.
great.
Yeah, you're saying he's
ridiculously
an
good.
outstanding player and not valuable player.
He's not the most valuable.
Okay, let's just end at this. Everyone's definition of valuable is different.
Let me say one
And that's just how it is.
valuable
That's
point
just how it
here.
is.
One quick valuable point
And
here,
then
right?
we're done. We're done with
We
this.
can be done. Let's go even crazier. A lot of people have a problem with this, but you put them on the Sixers, right? LeBron on the Sixers, they become competitive.
They're
become a
in
playoff
the
team.
playoffs.
They're in 4 or 5
Okay,
games.
we're done.
But you go Steph
All
and
I'm
Curry,
saying
I don't
is
know.
me and
Great point.
131
That was
other
awesome.
people who actually his opinions matter disagree with you.
These are the same people who are just writing the articles about Steph Curry all year long. Why
People are
following
studying every
but
player
why are
in
you
the
following
NBA?
Steph Curry all year long? 1, because they just won the finals, and 2, because they were on pace to winning 73 games. Well, they were on pace to breaking the record. So why not give it to him just because?
Yeah. So what? He's also valuable to the image of the NBA. He is.
That's why my point I
that's a
said
true
earlier. It's
statement,
all
too.
about image.
That's not his fault. That's not his
I'm
fault
not-
that he's valuable in
it's-
image.
It's nothing against
so he
Steph
should
Curry.
lose because of that.
No, I just think the thing should be changed to most outstanding.
I bet you.
Comment below
Please.
what you think, and we'll be sure to get back.
I want
Yeah.
you all to define valuable before anything.
This is
else.
going to be good.
That's what it is.
130 people say it is Steph Curry, and the
that-
one fan
that
vote.
are not playing in the
They're
NBA.
all the media, so think about that.
Okay.
It's
Well,
propaganda.
it's not the
It
system.
means just as much
If
as
you want to
me
change the
saying
system,
that. I mean,
propaganda.
because
I'm
you
not playing
are
against
a
Steph
very well-known, reputable sports writer.
yeah, exactly. And so my point really matters to the
does.
sports realm.
Okay.
Keep it together.
Subscribe. Hit subscribe in the upper left-hand corner. We should have more debates coming. Hopefully less. I guess some good ones.
It was pretty solid.
Okay. Other videos from this week on the right, and make sure you give us a like or a dislike if you disagree with them.
No, what? Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching.